is nothing wrong with your television. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are now controlling the transmission. We control the horizontal and the vertical. We can enrich you with 1,000 channels or expand one single image to crystal clarity and beyond. We can shape your vision to anything our imagination can conceive. We will control all that you see and hear. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the deepest inner mind to the outer limits.
I think that just about sums it up, doesn't it? The media in control of our minds. Now this incident here, so-called, is another one where they're controlling our minds. If we don't sit down and ask common sense questions, then the media rules. We've sold our souls, our very being, to the media. This is that Manchester thing. Okay? Now then, what I want to do is point out a few things to consider. Take it away, Sam.
Tasered and arrested as police move in after reports of a man lunging at people with a knife at Manchester's Arndale shopping centre just after 11:15 this morning. These images filmed from a passing bus. Officers clearing...
Okay, filmed from a passing bus. Now, you've seen my other video and you can see all this on the internet. That is all the footage that the media is putting out, and it's all the same footage. Now this is from Manchester stabbing, man arrested after attack in Arndale shopping centre. Right, okay. It's all the same footage. Who is taking the footage? How many people are taking the footage? We come back to this again, and this is a closed shopping centre. The barriers are down, the doors are shut, the very shutters are down. Okay, so who's taking this footage?
Police move in after reports of a man lunging at people with a knife at Manchester's Arndale shopping centre just after 11:15 this morning. These images filmed from a passing bus. Officers clearing the malls where thousands of shoppers had just been at the start of the weekend. And emergency...
Who's taking this? That's freeloads. What's he looking at? Hey, love. Hey? So if this is an emergency and they put the circle around here for some strange reason, they're going to clear the picking tables out. That's another matter we've got to ask. And where's the paramedics? They've got police officers and one dimbo here on a phone. So what's all this about? Again, the tables would have been cleared out. Where did they get these petitions from? You don't have these petitions in any storeroom, in any shopping mall. I've worked on shopping picking malls. They come from hospitals. So how did they get these on pigging site? Where's the medical staff? Give me strength. So that's 3 lots of persons filming.
See medical treatment inside the centre.
Hang on, medical treatment? You heard it here first with him. Listen.
Of shoppers had just been at the start of the weekend, and emergency medical treatment inside the centre for some of those caught up in what happened.
Really? Yeah, we can see by the medics who just happen to bring, you go into the back of an ambulance and you can see these screens in the back of ambulances just in case, you see. You want them on site. Okay, and then invisible paramedics on site and just a mound of police officers on site who would do better being on the pigging beat arresting offenders than playing this game. Alright? And whatever time this was filmed, okay, is this film or just check something? Was it just a photograph?
It's caught up in what happened.
Photograph. Right. There's been people here. They've been very, very cautious, haven't they? There've been people here. They've shifted them away because they've left the cups and debris behind. They've shifted them away. Set this screen up. But they haven't got footage to pan out what's happening around here. Crafty buggers, aren't they? Eh? And again, they would have shifted all this. But it's just a very poorly staged scene.
So as you started walking in, there were a lot of screaming and commotion and people started running out. We weren't sure what it was. And then a matter of...
Cut! Again. So who's filming this one? But the TV people. Because he's got his mic here now. Alright. So this is the news people, whoever it is. 5 News. Okay, so they've gone from the one individual, that is, which how would you say, one, not individual, but one film team, okay? That's put all the initial footage together. Then they broke it in to put this in. So this is being cut in. At what time was this cut in? To the rest of this cut and paste material. Come on. Let's go back.
A man lunging at people
cut and
with a
paste.
knife
Cut
at Manchester's
and
Arndale
paste.
Shopping centre just after 11:15 this morning.
Okay.
These images filmed from a passing bus. Officers
Cut,
clearing
paste.
the malls where thousands of shoppers had just been at the start of the weekend.
Who's this in?
Emergency
Cut,
medical
paste.
treatment inside the centre for some of those caught up in what happened.
So as you
Cut,
started walking in,
paste.
there were a lot of screaming and commotion and people started running out. We weren't sure what it was. And then
Cut,
a
paste.
matter of minutes, the police were on the scene and the paramedics.
Cut, paste.
Police described the attack as true
Cut,
shock
paste.
and said a 19-year-old woman and a man in his 50s were among the wounded, but that none of the injuries were life-threatening.
We do not know the motivation for this terrible
Cut,
attack.
paste. Right. We've had enough of the cut, paste. Just let's have a look at something else here.
From a passing bus. Officers clearing the malls where thousands of shoppers had just been
Right.
at the start of the weekend.
Tell me something that they haven't cut in. Please. They've had all this time to send the footage to an editing suite, to splice that footage up into its various parts so you get scenes like this and scenes like the other. Alright. You know, because they want this thing rushed out, don't they, to the general public to see what's happened, don't they? So they take it all the way to an editing suite. They have a meeting as to what should be left in the film footage and what should be taken out. Come on, it's picking. Come on, haven't you not caught on yet? This is pre-recorded. Nobody's gonna go, hey up, Tim, hey, let's film all this going on here. Oh yes, this. take it back to an editing suite before we publish it, you know, live. We're going to cut it all up and have a debate. Get the tea and sandwiches out in the boardroom and we'll come up with a storyline. Get real. They don't do that unless it's pre-recorded. This is pre-recorded. What is missing out of this pre-recorded footage? Please tell me. Please tell me. If they can put all this footage in here, okay, from a buzz, we have to be told it's a buzz. Because it just might be a plane or a helicopter. Or a UFO and Mr. Aliens flying around Manchester. No, we have to be told it's a buzz because we're fixed sods, aren't we? They're playing us. And if we're willing to be played, they'll play us even more. Now, what is missing?
These images filmed from a passing bus. Officers clearing the malls where thousands of shoppers had just been at the start of the weekend. And emergency medical treatment inside the centre for some of those caught up in what happened.
So as you start walking in, there were a lot of screaming and commotion and people started running out. We weren't sure what it was. And then a matter of minutes, the police were on the scene and the paramedics.
Police described the attack as truly shocking and said a 19-year-old woman and a man in his 50s were among the wounded, but that none of the injuries were life-threatening.
Right. Okay, I'll tell you what's missing. We'll come back to him in a minute. Tell you what's missing out of all the footage. CCTV evidence of the attack. Have we got that? CCTV evidence of the attack. In all the breaking news stories of the past 3.5 years, and in fact, if you were to go back before that, 9/11, the tube bombings in July the 7th, 2005, Columbine, Sandy Hook, so on and so forth, breaking news events of so-called tragedies. You'll never find any CCTV footage. Now we all know, come on, that's impossible. If you've got 100 events and there are 100 events without CCTV footage of an event taking place, how can that be? You've got at least 100 events where breaking news is involved, terrorism, school shootings, running down people, explosions in places, no CCTV footage. What is the purpose, we may ask, governments, of CCTV if you cannot bring evidence from CCTV footage of an event taking place? Why do you have to speak it into place? We should be able to see it taking place by CCTV footage. Where's the CCTV footage? Hearsay, simple words is not evidence. We're asking for evidence. Now, let's go back to this man.
What happened?
So as you start walking in, there were a lot of screaming and commotion and people started running out. We weren't sure what it was. And then a matter of minutes, the police were on the scene and the paramedics.
Right. This is very deceptive. Very deceptive. You see this chap here? Okay, what's he talking about? We will automatically say Manchester. The stabbing incident. Really? Why do you say that? Because the setup here is of Manchester. Stabbing. Exactly. That's what the media does. It paints the picture and then it introduces something that may not be part of that picture, but we take it as part of that picture because it's set out. In simple terms, it's like this. So far, the media has given us no evidence of an event taking place. It's speaking that an event took place. Then it introduces this man. But is this man talking about the event or another event? Some other event from another day, another time that he witnessed? Because he never says, and this reporter never says, anything about Arndale Centre. He didn't say, I walked into the Arndale Centre. He didn't say, did you walk into the Arndale Centre? Or I believed you walked into the Arndale Centre. That would have got it in context. This footage can be taken from anywhere. He could have witnessed anything from anywhere. Now let's... Okay.
So as you start walking in,
into where?
a lot of screaming and commotion, and people started running out. We weren't sure what it was, and then a matter of minutes, the police were on the scene and the paramedics.
Police described the attack as...
Right. Police were on the scene and the paramedics, but no CCTV footage of the attack or persons laying in on the Arndale Centre shopping centre on the floor, and no CCTV footage of people screaming and running out. Secondly, to consider, we have had in the past, all too frequently, people coming, presenting themselves as eyewitnesses. And they were not eyewitnesses, they were false eyewitnesses. That's another thing to take into consideration. When I approached Manchester Evening News about how it was that a arena could be blown up 6 times, that's right, 6 times by one man, and that the media footage tells us. How can that be? And why is it that you, Manchester Evening News, knew it was a fake event, but ran with it as a true event? Because if it had been a true event, you would have been down there following up the event, interviewing staff, workmen on site and staff, taking photographs of the damage inside, taking photographs of the repair work inside, giving updates. You would have made money, you would have made thousands and increased circulation, but you didn't. That means you knew there was nothing to go and interview, so there's no event taking place. They walked off. This really shows us what a gullible age we've entered into, and the media are saying, you lot are gullible. We can trick you this way, that way, and every way we like. We've got you, and we're spinning you around by our thumb. Well, little finger. We've got you by our little finger. You're going to believe this because we've published it. Because you're gullible. As much as we publish it. We know we can get away with it, says the media. I haven't been in this world all these years not to see what's happening. I know how governments work, I know how media works. It sells themselves, tricks us, deceives us, gives us instant news, instant coffee from the manufacturers, instant food from the outlets. Instant this, instant that, instant the other. We don't have to think anymore. We don't have to really work anymore. It's all provided to us on a plate.
So as you started walking in, there were a lot of screaming and commotion, and people started running out. We weren't sure what it was. And then, a matter of minutes, the police were on the scene and the paramedics.
Police described the attack as truly shocking and said a 19-year-old woman and a man in his 50s were among the wounded, but that none of the injuries were life-threatening.
We do not know the motivation for this terrible attack. It appears random, it's certainly brutal, and of course extremely frightening.
Sorry, but he's as corrupt can be. They know who to employ. It's like an officer said to me, a retired officer, senior officer. I say senior officer, old-fashioned senior officer. He says, the likes of these people are criminals. They're criminals. They're only in it for the money and the office, the title of the office, the criminals. They're all bigging criminals. And I have to agree with him. I mean, Manchester police, like Merseyside police, like West Yorkshire police, like the Metropolitan Police and Hampshire Police, they're thoroughly dishonest. So pieces like this are nothing. I mean, the amount of crimes that the police in England alone commit is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Oh, and the establishment is trying to hide it left, right and centre. The crimes from us.